Good morning, children. Today we are going to a new class with a new lesson that is for our 10th standard students. Before we start the lesson, we would like to play a game. I think so you all like to play games. Okay? We will play a very small game which will be of use for you in your future classes. Now please look at the board. I have a game for you. It's about vocabulary. For example, if I give you a word silence, using the word silence, this word you have to frame new words. The letters present here, S-I-L-E-N-C-E, this is a word which is going to come in our lesson here, colors of silence. Now with this word, using the letters, we have to frame more words. For example, you have another word here, blunt, B-L-U-N-T. Next we have one more word, that is fever, F-E-V-E-R. In this way you can make many words using the word silence in the middle. Now for example, now we cannot play the full game here over here because instead of teacher coming and doing the work here, students have to come and do the work here. On the board they have to write the letters. So now I have brought a ready-made chart for you which will increase your vocabulary. This is the game which I wanted to teach you. Now here there are many words. There is silence, there is fever, blunt, sweat, then here there is a word bruised, doodles. These are all words which are going to come across in the lesson. Okay? I think so all have watched this. This is not only for one lesson, you can do this activity for any of the lessons which are going to take place in future and which have already been over. Okay. Next I would like to go to the lesson. In this lesson we are going to unit 7. All students before we start the class, I want you to be ready with your textbook, a book to write, pen and a pencil. These 4 things you should have it with you. Now please don't open the textbook, just listen to what I am saying. Now we are going to do here unit 7, that is colors of silence. You all know the word silence. This is a common word used by teachers in the class. We want silence in the classroom. So silence is a word which we like, maybe you all don't like that word silence. This lesson is colors of silence, and first I am going to read out a dialogue between 2 friends. 2 friends over here, Lakshmi and Gauri, they are going to speak to each other. It is a conversation, sambhashana between 2 people. So what is this conversation about? What are we supposed to do? What are they talking? Just we'll go through this conversation. Please don't open the textbook, don't open, just listen to what I am saying. So Lakshmi, one of the friend, another girl is Gauri. So Lakshmi and Gauri are talking to each other. So Lakshmi says, Gauri, why didn't you come to school yesterday? Yesterday, why didn't you come to school? So Gauri says, I had to attend to my brother Gopal who is hospitalized. Gauri's brother is in the hospital. Lakshmi, really? What's wrong with him? Gauri says, he met with an accident last Saturday. A few days back, last Saturday, he had met with an accident. Lakshmi, my God, how did it happen? Is he seriously injured? She is questioning. Lakshmi is questioning Gauri. My God, how did it happen? Is he seriously injured? Gauri, he was walking along a narrow bridge. Narrow bridge. Narrow means a bridge which is very thin. Opposite of narrow is broad. A broad bridge. Where buses go, you find bridges near Kulur, you find big bridge. Near Netravati, you find big bridges. Here, Bantwal side, we find bridge, big bridge. This is not a big bridge. It's a narrow bridge without railings. Railings means the railings on the side to hold our hands. There was no railings. He just slipped and fell into the river. You know what is river, Nadi. So he fell there into the river and his head hit a rock. Rock means bendekalu. Okay? He hit the head on the rock. He had multiple fractures, not one fracture, many fractures. But we are lucky that he is out of danger. He has no problem, he is out of danger. Lakshmi, that's good. So he will be fit soon to attend class, I hope. So very soon he will come and attend the classes. So Gauri says, no, no Lakshmi. In a very sad tone she says, no, no Lakshmi. He has lost his sense of hearing. His head had hit the rock, so he has lost his sense of hearing. I am afraid he will be deaf. Deaf means Kyuda. So, because the head hit the rock, most probably he cannot hear for the rest of his life. For the rest of his life he cannot hear. He will be a burden on others. Once you cannot hear, now all our features are correct. In case we have some problem with our eyes, problem with the ears or hands, legs, we cannot be free like this. So she says he will be a burden to others. This is a conversation between two friends, Lakshmi and Gauri. So what do you feel? A person who is handicapped, who cannot hear, who cannot see, who cannot walk, are they always a burden? No, we cannot say they are always a burden. There are people who fought against this and have taken a new life ahead. So this lesson, Colors of Silence, is about one such person who has crossed all the path and has come back to the life with us, and he is one with us. Okay? Now we will read this lesson, Colors of Silence. Now students, please open your book. Keep your notebook on the right side to write down whatever I say, or some words can be written in the textbook itself. Text, ಆ ವರ್ಡಿನ ಮೇಲೆ ಅರ್ಥ ಬರ್ಕೊಳ್ಬೋದು. ಯಾವ ವರ್ಡ್ ನಾನು ಹೇಳ್ತೇನೆ ಅದರ ಮೇಲೆ ಬರ್ಕೊಳ್ಬೋದು. I will be reading very slowly, so you can follow the text. When I read, I want you to also look into the book and see where I am reading. After I read, you should be able to read by yourself. If you find any new words and I give the meaning in Kannada or in English, I want you to write it just above the word. It may be opposites. If it is opposite, just put a cross and write the opposite. If it is a homophone, write H and write the homophone. Okay? If it is present tense and past tense, write tense, T you write and write the tense. Okay? ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತಾ ಮಕ್ಕಳೇ? ಅಲ್ಲೇ ಪದಗಳ ಮೇಲೆ ನೀವು ಅರ್ಥವನ್ನು ಬರಿಬೋದು. ಯಾರಿಗೆ ಟೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಬುಕ್ಕಲ್ಲಿ ಬರೀಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಬೇಡ, ನೀವು ಪಕ್ಕದಲ್ಲಿರುವಂಥ ನಿಮ್ಮ ನೋಟ್ಸ್ ಬುಕ್ಕಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಅದನ್ನು ಬರ್ಕೊಳ್ಬೋದು. Okay? Let's start the lesson. I will be reading it very slowly, so I want you to look into your textbook and see where I am reading. Colors of Silence. Satish, why didn't you come to school today? Satish is the hero of this story. So here somebody is asking him, why didn't you come to school today? Today, why didn't you come to school? Surender had to repeat the question 3 times before Satish heard him. For 3 times he told the same question to Satish, why didn't you come yesterday? Why didn't you come yesterday? Why didn't you come yesterday? But the boy Satish is not replying. He is not replying. He was lying on the bed, his eyes closed. He was sleeping on the bed, his eyes were closed. Sweat glistened on his brows. Sweat. I have written the meaning there on the board. Sweat. The first meaning, bevaru. It was shining here on the forehead. You know, sometimes when you run very fast, when you are tired, when you climb high, you get sweat dots here on the forehead. Hane. On that, sweat was glistening. No, I am not well, replied Satish. Satish said, no, I am not well. Of late, he had been down with something or the other. Every time something was wrong with him, he was not keeping well. He was down with something, either it is fever or pain or headache, whatever it is. But he was not well. Asaukya. He was not well of late, since a few days. Okay, please turn the page, children. Go to page 142. Why? What's the matter with you, Satish? Surendra is asking, what's the matter? Why are you like this? Because they are great friends. And he is a very active boy, Satish. So I asked him, why, what's the matter? His friend asked with concern. With concern. Concern means ಕಾಳಜಿ. ಕಾಳಜಿಯಿಂದ ಕೇಳೋದು. ಯಾಕೆ ಏನಾಯ್ತು ನಿಂಗೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ. So he asked him with concern. I put the meaning here on the board. It's here. Glisten we just passed now. Glisten, shining, ಹೊಳೆಯೋದು. Concern. It is ಕಾಳಜಿ. Okay. He asked with concern. He put his hand on his forehead to feel it. When somebody has fever, we touch like this and see whether he has fever. So he touched his forehead like this to see if anything is wrong with him. What else can he do? Isn't it? He's not doctor. He's a boy, like small boy, like Satish. So he just touches here and finds out what's wrong. I don't know, Surendra. He says, I don't know. He doesn't know. The boy doesn't know what is wrong with him. I don't know. It's been pretty bad since the last operation on my leg. Leg, he had an operation. After the operation, it's pretty bad, very bad. His situation has become very bad. I get these terrible headaches and then feel as if everything is going dark and silent. He says after the operation, he gets terrible, viparita, terrible headaches. Teleno. He gets terrible headaches and then feels as if everything is going dark. He finds everything going dark. What is dark? Any meaning I have given here? No, I have given the opposite. Dark. Kattale. Light. Belaku. Bright. Belaku. But here Satish is feeling only darkness. Everything is dark and silent. You know how we feel. If a little water goes inside our ears, we cannot hear, we feel irritated. We keep on doing like this, isn't it? We feel irritated. Or something we put inside the ear, we feel irritation. But for this fellow, he feels he cannot hear anything. It is just silent. Silence. You know how silence is. You don't like silence, isn't it? You like big shouting, sounds and all. So this fellow is just feeling dark, everywhere it's dark, dark, and then silence. I feel miserable. Miserable means too much unhappiness. Miserable, suffering. He feels he doesn't know what to do. He's feeling miserable. But why are you speaking so softly? I can barely hear you. He's asking Surendra, why are you talking so softly? Ishtu mellage entaki matartiya? Why are you talking so softly? I can barely hear you. I cannot hear you. He's saying, softly, I have given there. Softly, opposite is loudly. Idu mellage mataadodu, adu joragi mataadodu, loudly. Okay? So he says, why are you talking so softly? I can barely hear you. Nan kelta illa neenu. I cannot hear you. Surendra gave him a strange look. Now Surendra, who was standing next to Inder, is looking at him strangely. Vichitravagi ಏನು ಮಾತಾಡ್ತಾನೆ ಅವನು? What is he talking? Actually Surendra was talking loudly. But Satish has lost his hearing. So he cannot hear. So he is asking, why are you talking so softly? Surendra gave him a strange look. ವಿಚಿತ್ರವಾಗಿ ನೋಡ್ತಾನೆ ಅವನು. ಏನಾಗಿದೆಪ್ಪ ಅವನಿಗೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ. He had certainly not been talking softly. He was not talking softly. He was talking loudly. Surendra was talking loudly, but Satish cannot hear. Has he lost his hearing? Wondered Surendra. Venige kivi keludilvo eno? He just wondered. He cannot tell loudly. You can't hear, you cannot tell. Best friends they are. How can you say, hey, ninge kivi kelista illa? No, he cannot say like that. He will feel sad. They are friends. Okay? So he wonders to himself, maybe Satish cannot hear. But he did not say anything. He just kept quiet. Poor Satish. Poor boy, Satish. He had been ill ever since he came back from the holiday in Kashmir the previous year. The previous year, Satish, his father, his brother, all three of them went on a trip or a tour or excursion, going out for outing. They had been to Kashmir. After he went and came back from there, he was not well. What happened in Kashmir? Okay, let's see the next one, next para number 8. There had been an accident when he went hiking with his father. There when he had gone to Kashmir, there they had gone for hiking. Hiking means this word over here, long walk across country, just walking and going, hiking. You see some people climbing mountains, charana, climbing mountains, mountaineering anta heltade. ಅದು ವರ್ಡ್ ಬಂದಿರ್ತದೆ ನಿಮಗೆ ಬೇರೆ ಪಾಠದಲ್ಲಿ ಬರುತ್ತೆ ಮೌಂಟೇನಿಯರಿಂಗ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಸಪ್ಲಿಮೆಂಟ್ ರೀಡಿಂಗಲ್ಲಿ ಬರುತ್ತೆ ಮೌಂಟೇನಿಯರಿಂಗ್. ಡಿಕ್ಕಿ ಡಾಲ್ಮಾ ಅಂತ ಒಂದು ಪಾಠ ಇದೆ, ಇಟ್ ಕಮ್ಸ್ ದೇರ್. ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಅಬೌಟ್ ದಟ್ ಗರ್ಲ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಡಿಕ್ಕಿ ಡಾಲ್ಮಾ, ಶಿ ಇಸ್ ಅ ಮೌಂಟೇನಿಯರ್. ಸೊ ಮೌಂಟೇನಿಯರಿಂಗ್ ಇಸ್ ಒನ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿ ಆರ್ಟ್. ಹಿಯರ್ ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ದೇ ಆರ್ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಫಾರ್ ಹೈಕಿಂಗ್. ಹೈಕಿಂಗ್ ಅಪ್ಪ ಮಗ ಅಣ್ಣ ಮೂವರು ಹೋಗ್ತಾರೆ ಹೈಕಿಂಗ್. ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಬ್ರದರ್ ಇಂದರ್, ಬ್ರದರ್ಸ್ ನೇಮ್ ವಾಸ್ ಇಂದರ್. Okay, so Satish, Indar and father. We'll come to know what's the father's name later. Okay, they were crossing a rickety bridge. You know what's a bridge? Rickety bridge. Rickety means a weak bridge. Rickety, weak, a weak bridge. Not a very strong one, a weak one. Strong bridge, that's different. Opposite is weak bridge. So there's a weak bridge. These were crossing the bridge and going to the other side. Now bridge was over some rapids. Rapids means a river which flows very fast. A river which flows very fast. Now we see rivers here in our Dakshin Kannada. When you move about, you see in Kulur, when you see, you can get a big bridge, a river flowing. When you go to Ulal side, you see a bridge, water is flowing under. When you go BC Road side, you see a bridge there, water is flowing under. You can see water, but the water flows very slowly, the water will be going. But here it's not like that. Rapids means there will be many rocks and the water will be flowing very fast. So there was a place where the water was flowing very fast. You know, Kashmir is a land of mountains. There are many mountains, hills, so water will be flowing very fast, and there was a bridge in that, a very weak bridge. There's a crossing the bridge. When they were crossing the bridge, the boys were standing on the bridge and looking down at the water. Nice to see water, it will be like foamy, like soapy water, it will be going down. So the boys were standing on the bridge and looking down at the water. The water was swirling below them, swirling, going round, suliya hage neer hogta ide speedily. So the water was going down. I have put the meaning here, swirl, twist. So the water was twisting and going down. Where are we now? Rushing down, yes. His screams, sorry, just before that, look how the water is rushing at that spot. Satish says, hey, see, look there, Anna, nodali anta helteve. So look there how the water is rushing. Just then his foot slipped. His leg slipped from the bridge. Like when we stand, we slip like this, So he slipped and lost his balance, losing his balance. The bridge was very small, it was weak. Maybe they have kept some wooden pieces, marad tundugalannu haki chikka setuve madirbodu avaru. His leg slipped and he fell into the water. His screams were lost in the rushing sound of water. You know, when the water falls on the rock, ಈ ಬೆಟ್ಟದ ಇಳಿಯುವಂಥ ನೀರು ತುಂಬ ಶಬ್ದ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ ಅದು. So that sound was so much, whatever Satish was screaming, it couldn't be heard. When he regained consciousness, ಮೂರ್ಛೆ ಹೋದ ಅವನು. So when he regained conscious, what happened? His leg was in plaster and his head hurt badly. Leg they had put full plaster and his head was hurting him very badly. He was bruised and aching all over. His full body was bruised. Bruised, have I given? Yes, bruised. Injured, ella ಗಾಯಗಳಾಗಿತ್ತು. It was injured and aching all over. Pain, aching, headache ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಲ್ಲ ಹಾಗೆ. So pain, aching all over. Next para will go. Though his legs healed, After some days, his plaster, whatever he had put, everything got healed. Gunamukha aitadu. It got healed. They remained weak. His legs, all the injury what he had, everything is gone. Adu kaala nitranavagiತ್ತು, ತುಂಬ weak ಆದವನು. He required several operations on them. They had to operate on the leg to make it correct. So several operations, ತುಂಬ, many times, ಅನೇಕ ಸಲ ಆಪರೇಷನ್ಸ್ಗಳನ್ನು ಕಾಲ ಮೇಲೆ ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕಿತ್ತು ಅವನಿಗೆ. Worse, he suffered frequently from bouts of fever and infection. Not only operation, with the operation he used to get bouts of fever, ಅಂದರೆ ಪುನಃ ಜ್ವರ ಬರುವಂಥದ್ದು. ಸೊ ಬೌಟ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಫೀವರ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಇನ್ಫೆಕ್ಷನ್, ಗಾಯಗಳಾದಾಗ ಇನ್ಫೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಆಗುವಂಥದ್ದು. ಫುಡ್ ತೆಗೊಳ್ಳುವಾಗ ಜಾಗ್ರತೆ ಮಾಡದಿದ್ದರೆ ಅಥವಾ ಕ್ಲೀನಾಗಿ ಇಟ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋದ್ರೆ ಇನ್ಫೆಕ್ಷನ್ಸ್ ಪುನಃ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇರ್ತದೆ. ಆಪ್ರೇಷನ್ಸ್ ತುಂಬ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಚಿಕ್ಕ ಹುಡುಗ. ಸೊ ದ ಇನ್ಫೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಇಸ್ ಟು ಕಮ್ ಅಗೇನ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಅಗೇನ್. ಹಿ ಯೂಸ್ ಟು ಗೆಟ್ ಫೀವರ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಇನ್ಫೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಎಸ್ಪೆಷಲಿ ಆಫ್ ದ ಇಯರ್. ಕಿವಿಯ ಒಳಗೆ ಇನ್ಸೈಡ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಇಯರ್ ಹಿ ಯೂಸ್ ಟು ಗೆಟ್ ಇನ್ಫೆಕ್ಷನ್. Okay, next we will go to 10. Seeing that Satish was in pain, Surinder now got up to go. Surinder felt, now what's the use of sitting? ಏನು ಕೂತು ಏನು ಮಾಡೋದು ನಾನು? Let me go. So Surinder got up. But still when getting up, he's asking his friend, will you come to school tomorrow? ನಾಳೆ ಬರ್ತೀಯಾ ಶಾಲೆಗೆ? Will you come to school tomorrow? He asked. Satish shook his head. He just shook his head. Andrenu, no, I am not coming. A slow tear trickled down his cheek after Surinder left. A slow tear, kanneeru, ilita untu. It felt as if some huge weight was pressing upon his head, making everything seem far away and silent. Huge weight. Weight ಎಂಬ ವರ್ಡ್ ಬಂದಿದೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ. weight. It's not, I'll write over here, weight. weight ಅಂದರೆ ಭಾರ. One more weight is there, that is weight. ನಿಲ್ಲು. Both are pronounced in the same way, weight. Both the words are pronounced in the same way, but the meaning is different. Now what we have word here is this one, weight, bhara. This is weight, nilu. So intadu barutte parikshege. You will be given words where you have to frame sentences. ವಾಕ್ಯ ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. So these are called homophones. ಇದು ಹಿಂದಿನ ಪಾಠಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಸರ್ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ ನಿಮಗೆ homophones ಅಂದರೆ ಏನು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ. So this is one of the example there I have given. Weight, W-E-I-G-H-T, W-A-I-T. Okay. Some huge weight was pressing down his head. Head was pressing down and making everything seem far away and silent. ದೂರ ಹೋದಾಗೆ, ಮೌನಕ್ಕೆ ಜಾರಿದ ಹಾಗೆ ಅನಿಸ್ತಿತ್ತು ಹುಡುಗನಿಗೆ. He felt helpless. ಏನು ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಆಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ. He was feeling helpless and upset at being confined to bed as he was. ಅದು ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಬೆಡ್ಡಿಂದ ಏಳಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಆಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ. He was confined. He was stuck to the bed there only. Okay. The silence was the worst. Okay. He's sleeping on the bed. Fine. Pain on the head. Fine. The worst thing was silence. Silence. ಆ ಮೌನ ಇದೆಯಲ್ಲ, that was the worst. ಅದಕ್ಕಿಂತ ಭಯಂಕರ ಏನಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ. It was the worst for that boy. Everything seemed like scenes from some pantomime show. ಮೂಕ ಚಿತ್ರದಲ್ಲಿ ಪುಷ್ಪಕ ವಿಮಾನ ಪಿಕ್ಚರ್ ಬಂದಿತ್ತು ಒಂದು ಮೂಕ ಚಿತ್ರ. ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬರೀ ಆ್ಯಕ್ಷನ್ಸಲ್ಲೇ ಚಿತ್ರ ನಡೀತದೆ. ಇವನಿಗೆ ಹಾಗೆ ಅನ್ನಿಸ್ತಿತ್ತು, ಏನೋ ಒಂದು ಮೂಕ ಚಿತ್ರದಲ್ಲಿ ಭಾಗವಹಿಸಿದ ಹಾಗೆ. He felt he was in a silent movie. Pantomime show ಅಂದರೆ ಮೌನವಾಗಿರುವಂಥ ಒಂದು ಮೂವಿ. He wanted to scream to break the silence. Silence, he wanted to break it. He wanted to scream, ಕಿರ್ಚಬೇಕಂತ ಅನ್ನಿಸಿತ್ತು. But didn't. He didn't scream. For an 8-year-old boy, this was terrible. ದೊಡ್ಡ ಹುಡುಗಲ್ಲ. He was just 8 years old. 3ನೇ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಹುಡುಗ. 3rd standard boy. 6, 7, 8. 3rd standard boy. So an 8-year boy, this is terrible. The doctors didn't know the cause. Doctors ಕೇಳಿದ್ರು, what happened? Why is he like this? They too don't know what is wrong with the boy, except that it is caused by medicines given to treat his leg. For his leg, when they had to operate, they used to give him medicines. Because of the medicine, he has lost his hearing, as well as he gets those headaches. Okay? So, we have finished till para number 12. The numbers are there, it is in page number 142, it is in page number 141, 142, and we have finished up till 12. Now, what you are going to do today is just take textbook, take out your textbook, read the full lesson once more, understand it. Okay, then next lesson it will be easy to continue if you know what has happened in the first part of the story. Okay, whatever you have noted down, note it down and then just go through it. Then one more thing I have to say is, each page here in this page here you find a list of words. These are all the difficult words of this page. So, each page carries some words. So, these are the words which you have to learn, because there they will give you for the exam, they will give you a sentence, ಒಂದು ವಾಕ್ಯ ಕೊಟ್ಟು ಒಂದು ಪದ ಕೊಡಿ ಅಂತ ಕೊಡ್ತಾರೆ. So, usually it comes from the meanings, right? ಮತ್ತು extract when they give from inside this ಮಾತುಗಳೆಲ್ಲ. So, reading the text is very important. So, also you have to do one more work is, you can find a QR code over here. You have to scan this QR code with your mobile phone. You will get many exercises here. Fill in the blanks, match the following, one words, simple questions. So, kindly go through it. Okay? Let us meet in the next class. Thank you, children.